Hey guys, I'm s7yler, and in this video I'm going to review the Cubot X17, a phone that according to the manufacturer is only 6.1mm thin and the thinnest phone ever from Cubot. I'm going to check the exact thickness later in the video, so just stay tuned. You could call the X17 a big brother to the X16 because in terms of design and software they are nearly identical. The main difference is that the X17 has a better camera, more RAM and another backside design. So for all the specifications, please have a look below in the video description. I will list them all there for a better overview. So the Cubot X17 comes in a standard decent dark box, identical to the one we also saw for the X16, just with the Cubot logo on the front. On the back we find a sticker with the specifications and some information about the manufacturer. Inside we find a wall charger, micro USB cable, SIM tray tool, quick start guide, a screen protector and a plastic clear hard case. Let's have a look at the phone design. On the top we find the light and proximity sensor, a multicolored notification LED, the ear speaker together with a 5MP front camera that is interpolated to 8. The phone has a 5.0-inch 1080p Full HD JDI IPS display with 441 ppi and good viewing angles. And this display is incredibly bright, sharp and vivid. The glass is 2.5D arc, so it's a bit curved in the edges, and the whole phone construction is very solid thanks to the metal frame and internal construction. In the bottom we find the menu, home and back buttons, which unfortunately doesn't light up. On the back side, which is non-removable and made of plastic, we have a 30MP rear camera with autofocus and 2.2 aperture, together with a very strong dual LED flash, and in daylight the camera does a really good job. Pictures are sharp and very detailed. Notice also that the lens on the X17 is a lot bigger than on the X16 and that it sticks out on the back. So the X17 will unfortunately not lay completely flat on the table like the X16 did. Inside the phone we will also find a 2500 mAh non-removable battery. It could be bigger, but it is possible to get through the day with average usage, and I measured the capacity to be real. Then we see the brand and also a CE logo, and that is good if it should be stopped by the customs. And last we find the rear speaker, which provides average sound quality. In the bottom of the phone we just find a micro USB port with USB OTG support, and the microphone is located on the front side near the edge, a very small hole. On the right side we find the volume rocker together with the power button, and they are kind of small, but both feel nice to press and are pretty responsive. In the top we find the 3.5mm headphone jack, which provides loud and clear sound with nice bass. On the left side we find a dual SIM tray, which you have to open up with a small pin. The phone supports extra MicroSD card, micro and nano SIM, but only max 2 cards at the same time. So let me open up the dual SIM tray and let's have a close-up of the tray. Let's have a closer look at the phone. So it supports double tap to wake, and you can see that here. But it also supports off-screen gestures. Let's try a C. And this should start up the camera. Yeah, we see that here. Let's get back. So you can see it's very smooth, nice. And you also see many test apps are installed, and some of these are also stock apps. We have support for FM radio. And notice also we have the touch buttons, and they do not light up. They are just painted here on top. And you also very clearly see the bezel in the sides. I would say they are not the worst I have seen. They are okay, but still they are very clear to see. The phone also supports air gestures. For example, here in the gallery, you can see when I swipe my hand, will change the page. And it's also possible to set up that you double tap on the home to lock the screen again, double tap to wake, double tap to lock. So that's pretty convenient. And you can also make screenshots really easy, just swipe 3 fingers. Next up, let's have a look inside the camera app. So the camera is pretty good, gives good detail, and the pictures are sharp. As you notice, we do not have the shortcuts here in the top, but when we click here, they will fly out here in a nice animation. And here we'll find the face beauty, panorama, multi-angle view, and so on. We also see here for the flashlight, the front-facing camera, HDR, and so on. Let's see the settings. And here we find up to 16 megapixels in 4:3 or 9.5 megapixels in full screen. Let's see video. We have noise reduction, electronic image stabilization, video quality fine, full HD. And we can also click here to get some color filters. And here are some camera samples here in low light, daylight, and the camera provides pretty good quality. Pictures are sharp and nice with a lot of detail. Here you can see in the night raindrops on the glass. Here in the dark. And as always, I will provide a link in the description to some camera samples in high resolution. So to see the quality, I suggest to take a look at these and be the judge yourself. And let me now test out the LED flash here in the dark with the camera. Let's check out the picture and see sharpness, and also the details are pretty good. We can see the text clearly, very sharp and nice. So good LED flash and good camera. And here now with the LED flash, the torch. So these are pretty strong, I would say. Dual LEDs gives a lot of bright light in a cool tone. And let me also show you the viewing angles. First the display, full HD, very, very bright. Let's see here from the bottom. Good. Here from the side, okay. And from the top, overall good viewing angles. So here you can see the reception, the Wi-Fi in top, a network reception also in top. And while I tested the phone, I did not experience any problems with Wi-Fi or network reception. And it of course supports 2G, 3G and also 4G LTE. And the 3.5mm headphone jack provides good and clear sound when you use headphones. So the sound is clear and loud, there are no issues at all. And now let's try out a test call. Here we see the proximity sensor. It's working. And let me put it up to the microphone.
To listen to your new messages, press 2. To listen to your saved messages, press 3.
Okay, so that was the sound here from the ear speaker, loud and clear. Let me also show you here the quick toggles. So you can see we have some shortcuts here. And let's check out the settings. So we have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, we have Hotknot, where you can send files, a little bit like NFC. We have the SIM cards, and inside here, if you're using dual SIM, you can switch to SIM 1 or 2 for data. Let's see, we have display. So here we have mirror vision support. We also see notification light. So here you can change the color, red, green or blue. We have the gestures control. We have sound and notification. So here you can also disable and enable the sound for the power on or power off tone. We find the storage We see total space available. There's support for MicroSD card and also external USB storage, USB on the go. Let's see the RAM consumption. And we see 1.9 GB of RAM is free. Totally, this phone here has 3 GB. So that's one of the upgrades on the X17. Here cached. Let's see in language and input. So it's multi-language. And then we have developer options and about phone. So here you can see the build number, kernel, baseband, Android version 5.1, model number X17. We have support for OTA, OTA, wireless updates. So that's it for the settings. And here a comparison. So here we have the Cubot X17 and to the right we have the X16. Let me just compare these two. So we see here this is plastic on the back side and this one here has glass on the back side. Also notice here the camera lens, the difference in the size. But the X17 here also have a clearly better camera. And let's see here. In the bottom we also have the speaker placed in the same spot. We have the same text. Let's try here from the side. Exactly the same design. Same buttons. Same here in the top. And here the right side. So only the back side is different. And because the camera is thicker on the X17, you can see it sticks out on the back side, so the phone cannot lay totally flat on the table, while the X16 here doesn't have the lens sticking out, so this one is flat. That's the main difference on these two. And now let's try out USB on the go. So I have here my USB stick and let's try to connect it. Yeah, it's found. External USB storage. Let's see the file manager. And let's test out some music so you can hear the internal speaker. In the rest of the video I will show you some results from different test apps, and in the end I will run a game and tell you about the pros and cons, so stay tuned if you want to know more. And now to my pros and cons. So first to the pros. It's very thin and has a nice design with great solid build quality. The rear side is made of plastic instead of glass, so if you should drop it, the risk that it should break is less. It has a multicolored notification LED, it has LTE band 20 support, it has a very good and bright Full HD display, and I didn't see any kind of clouding or pressure marks while I tested the phone. The OS runs in 64-bit mode, that is also supported by the CPU. The main camera is very good in daylight, gives sharp and very detailed pictures, and it has some very strong dual LEDs on the rear side. To the list of the cons are that the capacitive touch buttons are without any backlight. I think they could easily have added this, but it would probably make the battery life worse. The battery life could be better, but one day with average usage is possible. It has very few built-in sensors, it only has the 3 most important ones. The backside doesn't look as premium as on the X16, and the camera sticks out on the back, so it doesn't lay completely flat on the table. It has a very standard cheap built-in rear speaker. It is loud, but the sound quality is just average. Also, the CPU is not the fastest. Most standard games run okay, but probably not good enough for hardcore gamers. And last, the screen has a big black border around, which is kind of ugly to look at, but unfortunately this is very common and normal on China phones. So overall I'm very impressed by the build quality, the display and the camera, so I can definitely recommend this phone if you're looking for a cool looking thin but solid 5-inch Android phone with nice camera for a good price. So guys, that's it for the review. Remember also to check out my blog. You'll find the link in the video description. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. Give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.